All right, guys, so just making a quick video on how to use your calculator to find min and max values. So right now I'm just going to reset my calculator, so if any other settings were off, we have that. So I'm going to do second, and then this memory button is the reset option down at number 7. Remember, you can pause me, skip ahead if you know this, things like that. So this is what I do before tests and quizzes. Also, I'm going to reset, and I do everything, all RAM. And do a reset on there. Okay, so now I'm going to put in one of the functions that are on our worksheet that we used in class, or you can use any function really. I'm going to do, you'll see it up here, negative x to the 4th guy. I have it on the board behind me, so I'm looking over there. I'll go out of my variable. Making all these mistakes. Plus 3x squared and a plus 2x. Okay, so I'm going to graph this. And we can see right now that we have 3, we call them extrema, right? Extreme points on our graph. We've got this max point over here, this max point over here, and this minimum point. So now remember, the highest point on our graph, that's this one, that's going to be our absolute max. So I'm going to find that first by going into my second calculate menu. So that's the second button here, and then calculate up top. And here we're going to choose number 4 to find a maximum. All right, so this is the part where people usually get thrown off. The calculator needs a zone to look in because we have more than one max. So it wants you to tell it where to look. So I need to give it a boundary on the left. So we can use the arrow buttons on our calculator. I'm just going to move a little bit closer. All right, it seems to be stuck at 4 right now. I don't know why, but I want essentially my left boundary to be over here somewhere. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put in a number. It looks like if I can put in like 0.5, my cursor is going to move there. All right, that'll be my left bound. So I'm going to put in 0.5 and hit enter. And we see now there's my cursor. And there's an arrow just came up here. It's kind of in my y-axis, but that's to the left of my max. Now it says give me a right boundary line. So I'm going to move over to the right of the max I'm looking at. Give yourself some room, and I hit enter. And my max is between the arrows. So these are the only points the calculator is going to look at. And then it says guess. So if you want to move the cursor to where you think the max is, you can. But this is really if there's more than one, I want to take a guess. So I'm just going to hit enter again, and there's my max point. Okay, so I'm going to do one more time for this minimum point. Remember, this would be the absolute max I found. I'm going to find this relative minimum down here. So I go into my second calculate menu. Down to 3 is my minimum now. And I'm going to do the same thing. I want a left boundary. So I'm going to move my cursor to the left of the minimum. And hit enter, and it wants a right boundary, so I'm going to move to the right of my minimum and hit enter. And then again, you can guess if you want, just move the cursor to it or just hit enter one more time, and there's my minimum. All right, so that's it. So make sure you can find your max and min values on the calculator, and remember the difference between our absolute and relative. All right.